We back.
What's going on, sir? Back in the saddle. Kirk Broussard. How you doing, sir?
I'm excellent, my good dude. Happy to be back. How was your
Always a pleasure to be on these
how was your
airways.
Christmas?
Sir.
How was your Christmas?
Christmas was good. Christmas was
Okay.
good. Let me tell you something, Kirk. We now at that age now where like Christmas is for the kids or whatever, and you buy them these things and you forget that you're gonna have to put them together. I've had the hardest time trying to put together my son's basketball goal and his bike, bro. I'm so mad that it took me this long. I finally got it, but it took me like 3 days. I should have
Yeah.
been ahead it together, man. I was embarrassed. I was.
What type of goal is it?
It's just one of those, goals that you can lift up. It's like the NBA size or whatever. It's got like all these
Okay.
levers on the back and things you got to do on it. And I'm not a handyman. That's one thing I wasn't blessed with. So I started seeing
Yeah.
all those screws and things. And I automatically just shut down. The brain doesn't know how to compute that. I hate that about myself. But hey, we all struggle with stuff.
Did you finish it?
I did. I had to. I ain't gonna lie. I had to call in some help. I had to get one of my homeboys that's good with that stuff. He came by, showed me a thing or two, and we finally got it up, man. So it all
Yeah.
worked out.
That's what's up, man. Yeah.
how,
You had the family
how
over?
about you, man? How was Christmas, man, for you?
It's just me and the wife and the kids, not really with my extended family because I'm on the other side of the country. But
Yeah.
like you said, Christmas is more for the kids than us. So, we were able just to kind of, the thing about it is, man, they get so many gifts and they're trying to open everything like at once and they forget about things. And it's like, you
Yeah.
look 10 minutes later and the little one is playing with a balloon and you're thinking like, I could have just got you a balloon for Christmas, you know?
You know what I'm saying? All
Yeah.
this money I just spent, and this
Yeah.
is what you over there playing with.
Yeah.
Um, have you turned into like I found myself turning into the guy that has the trash bag. As they open it up, I'm just scooping up all the gift wrap paper and all that stuff because I'm thinking in my head, I'm not going to clean up all this, man, for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I try to be
yeah,
prepared. I'll get the trash can all ready to go. So as soon as they open it, you can just put it right in the can. Yeah.
yeah. That's
But
that's 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 grown man stuff right there. That's grown
yeah,
man
I
stuff right there.
I try to get my kids some clothes, and my kids, they're kids, like throwback old days kids. They're not into like Jordan or Polo or
Okay,
Nike. They don't care about brands. They don't even know about that kind of stuff. So they're like
that's
clothes.
good,
We're
man.
not supposed to get clothes for Christmas. We're supposed to get toys. You know, they're not into that. And I'll look at some of my friends' Facebook pages, and they got little 5 year olds getting iPhones and Jordans and all
Yeah,
this other
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I don't raise my kids like that.
You're doing something right there, man. Because I mean, this is gonna come one day when they go get to that point where they're worried about that kind of stuff. But you want to push that back as far as possible. I don't want you to even think about that stuff, man. You can't help it when they get like
Yeah,
in high school. It's that time of life or
yeah,
whatever. But 5 years old is crazy. That's
yeah.
crazy.
I tell them all the time. Michael Jordan never put $1 in my pocket.
I'm trying to tell you, he sure did it. He
Yeah,
took a few, but he sure ain't gave me none.
exactly. Yeah, 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 man.
So let's jump into it, man. I'm glad you had a
Okay.
good Christmas and going into the new year. But hey, it's time to talk some football, man. So first topic of the day, let's jump into it. I sent you the list today. There was some random stuff, but that first one really was sticking with me. The whole Saquon argument. So we know that Saquon, what is it, 101 yards short of a pretty big record. The rushing record, that's one of those records. Like if you're an old school football player, you got to hold that one up in esteem because it's been many great running backs. They ain't even got close to it. So Saquon has the chance going into the last week of the season, 101 yards to break Eric Dickerson's what is that, 30, 40 year record of the all-time rushing in one season.
Yeah.
Coach, you being a coach. Um, I'm handing it off to you first. What do you think in this situation? Do you want your guy to play? Of course, you always got the risk aversion that you're trying to play with. You're trying to make sure you're right for the playoffs. But you as a coach, what are you telling this player who probably wants to break that record?
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that play into that. Like you said, you're thinking about keeping him healthy for the playoffs, maybe shuffling him this game because you've already clinched what you got to clinch. They clinched the division.
Mm-hmm.
But the player has some say so in that. I mean, like you said, Saquon probably wants that record. How often do you get a chance to even challenge a record like that? So, in my opinion,
Yeah,
you got to let him go. You got to let him go. You got to
yeah.
trust, your depth that you got behind him if something did happen, and you got to let him try that record because, like you said, how long has it been since Eric Dickerson broke that record? It's been standing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I let him
I,
go.
I like to hear that. I like to hear that from you as a coach because I always think, from a player perspective, that coaches are always going to be thinking about the future, right? They're always going to be thinking, okay, yeah, you can break this record, but at the same time, we need you for next week. We need you in that first round game. We might be playing the first, whatever it is. So, but to your point, if you got the chance to do something that, who knows if you ever have that opportunity again, just right there in front of you, you got to take that, man. That's an all timer. You're going to be Eric Dickerson is what is in his 50s, 60s, and that's probably that man's whole identity. He's still known as the all-time rushing leader in that one season. So this is something that's going to be a lifetime thing. You can't just put it in terms of, okay, yeah, we got the playoffs next week, man. We're talking about an all-time thing that you can complete right here. So I agree with you. You gotta take that chance if you got a chance.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, and with a guy like Sirianni, he he wants to get that,
Don't
notch on his
start.
belt.
Don't
Say,
start, Kurt.
yeah, no doubt.
If,
So
if y'all ain't watched this show, man, let me tell you something. Kirk don't mess with
don't
Nick
don't
Sirianni.
don't say I got some against Sirianni.
You don't mess with Sirianni, man. Any chance that you get to stick it
Yeah,
to him, I say, that guy is not what y'all think he is. You gonna say it now. You gonna say it. But look, if you telling me that I got a chance to do some all time history type of thing, yes, I may get injured, and you would hate to see that, right? You would hate to see, God forbid, a season-ending injury happen to Saquon at it. But I can 100% understand him going out there and trying to break the record. If something happened, it happens. But I think that you have to take that chance when you got it to do something like that. So
yeah,
I'm in line with you on that.
yeah. Saquon wants that record, and
So
I think you can imagine, like,
while we still talking about it, have you? Go ahead.
I didn't. What'd you say?
I said, go ahead, finish your thought.
Well, I was gonna say that the running back has kind of been swept under the rug in the last 10 years. So to achieve something like that,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it may help bring that running back status back so these running backs can start getting paid like they used to get paid, you know?
Yeah. That's a great point. Him and Derrick Henry with the season that he's having, um, and I really feel glad from Saquon from the standpoint the Giants just basically just said we're not going to sign this guy. We're going to sign Daniel Jones. That's what we're going to sign Daniel Jones to a long term extension, and we're going to let Saquon test the market. Like how stupid can you be?
Yeah.
If you watch Hard Knocks and they had that scene where they were talking about, well, you don't pay running backs, you pay your quarterback, and I'm looking at the scene like, okay, I get it. If this guy was, Pat Mahomes or Josh, we're talking about Daniel freaking Jones. You're going to pay this guy that you end up eventually cutting, and you're still on the hook for some of his money, and you had an all-time running back sitting there right in your face. That's how
Exactly.
bad franchises stay bad right there. Those type of things.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm more than certain the GM that made those decisions, his clock is ticking.
Gotta be. It's gotta
Yeah.
be.
Time
That
is
is
up.
that is a dumpster fire. Uh,
I'm
so
watching this
I think we
game.
both agree
I
on that.
saw the 49ers just throw a pick.
Yeah. So, great segue. So let's jump into because I put that topic on that list. I already kind of assumed that the Lions were going to make quick work out of the 49ers. But I mean, we've shown that the 49ers are still playing good ball. They've kept this a relatively close game for the most part, to the point where it's been a very, very entertaining game. But let's be honest, the Lions now with that pick should walk into the next week going against the Minnesota Vikings for the #1 seed in the NFC. So let me start off here with that, Kirk. How important is it to a team uh, to obtain that #1 seed? Like the perks that you get for being #1. How important is that to you? And is that something that, as a coach, that you want to achieve?
I mean, yeah, because you're looking at you just went through this grueling season, and all that comes with that. So to be able to get any type of break that you can get, as far as like having a #1 seed, having to compete against a lower seed, you're looking for every edge and advantage you can get. So it's super important, and the Vikings should go all out, to get that. So as 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 a coaching staff, they got to be thinking about that first. We want to make this ride
Mhm.
to the Super Bowl as light as possible. So you got to get that #1 seed.
Who do you think it serves better to get the #1 seed? Do you think it's better for the Lions or the Vikings? Because some teams they want to just keep playing ball. I'm hot. My receivers on time. Defense is hot. I don't want to mess this thing up. Man. You take that 1 week off, and we've seen it in the past where teams get a week off and they come off that bad week and they don't look the same as they did before. So who
Yeah.
do you think this benefits more to get that #1 seed?
I think for me, I think it's going to be more beneficial to Detroit because I mean, you can see tonight they got some defensive issues to sort out. You know, yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
just came up with a pick, but how much have they given? They've given up 28 points to the 49ers. So I feel like as a
Mm-hmm.
defense, they got some things they need to sort out. So I think it'd be more beneficial for them to get that extra time to game plan to get ready for that Vikings matchup. So yeah. And I think it's more pressure on Detroit to get it because of the success that they had last year. Am I still on camera?
Yeah, yeah, I see. You. Yeah,
Okay. I can only see you.
you still here.
Okay.
Um, you kind of going in and out, but yeah, there you go. I don't know, man. I think for the Lions, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here a little bit. Because of some of the things that they faced in the past, some of the pressure and things like you said, they've had a great season, and everyone came into the season thinking that the Lions would not have aggressive. You coming off an NFC championship game that a lot of people thought you should have won last year, and to the point where we weren't looking for the Vikings. I mean, who was looking for the Vikings to be this good this year with Sam Darnold? So it's more expected for the Lions to be in this position to be able to get the #1 seed, but they are so ravaged on the defensive side, like you said. They got what 5 or 6 that they're not able to. That's not going to be able to compete.
Yeah.
So, but I think the Vikings for them to get the #1, I think that would be um, not only surprising from their side, but I think that would be more of a crowning achievement to talk about. This has been a year for Minnesota. I mean, to only lose 2 games with Sam Darnold, who a guy who you would probably think that JJ McCarthy was going to be your starter eventually, and Sam Darnold's. I mean, if you look at his numbers up there with Lamar and Josh Allen. Like he could be in the MVP conversation at this point.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't like that smile. What is that? It's a sly grin. What does that mean, Kirk?
It just makes me think back to a previous podcast with a previous host that we had that totally didn't like Sam Donald. I really didn't care. I liked Sam Donald coming out of college. I really did. But I just thought he was always put in some bad situations, especially in Carolina. I don't think he ever got developed. And,
Yeah,
with the
Jets.
Jets, that was a who knows crazy situation.
Yeah,
So I think he's finally in a
yeah.
good situation where he's getting coached up the right way, and I think it's paying dividends. I never thought he'd play like this, man. He's playing with his hair on fire.
I'm really starting to like was it Kevin O'Connell, the coach of the Vikings?
Yeah,
He's one of those guys that you just get him a competent quarterback. He's gonna put the scheme together, man. I mean,
yeah,
even when he goes back to when he was under McVay, and I think Baker came in there for like a few games, and that's another guy that resurrected his career too. Another guy, but I really liked him. He's just like one of those brighter offensive minds that if you can do the basic things, he can scheme up the rest and really make him show your attributes on it. So That's
Yeah,
one coach that I'm really fell in love with over the past couple of years because he seems to be a guy that can get the best out of other guys.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
He said
Yeah,
something
he's
important too. I think he had a he had a quote that he said that he was talking about. I think it was the Bryce Young situation, and they kind of they asked him what his thoughts was, and his thoughts was like perfect to what everybody else think. You put a guy in a situation where he doesn't have, the weapons, the support. Of course, he's going to fail. And because that was asking basically, how do you get the best out of your guys, and things like that. And I thought his answer was spot on the way that he approached it, and everything that he's proven to me. That guy's going to be a damn good coach.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Um, he seems like a really good tactical coach as far as game planning and scheming up teams.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
I just noticed in your background you got the goat up.
yes, sir.
In my
Yes, sir.
background, I got the goat up.
Look at that. I ain't never looked
Tupac.
at it that hard. Your show is. You got the
Tupac.
other goat. Different genre, but still a goat all day
you,
long. Yes,
you
sir.
old enough to remember Tupac?
Yeah, just go play with me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had to see these. I'm playing.
Yeah,
That's my
no
guy,
doubt.
man. But
Oh man, they broke. Detroit just broke
to your
Gibbs.
did it break? I'm looking at it now.
That's game.
I'm telling you what, somebody's making some good money off of this high scoring game.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
somebody's making some good money off of this. This is high scoring game.
Wow, they in San Francisco doing this.
What else? What
All right, what's on the agenda next?
Let's see. Let's keep it football because we're gonna talk about basketball here. But let's keep it football. Let's turn our attention to now. You're getting to the end of the season. You're kind of starting to see the positioning for the number one pick, the top five picks, things like that. So as we look at it, let me pull up the order because I know from being here in Nashville that the Titans have the number two. If the season ended right now, they would have the number two pick. I think number one would be the Patriots. Let me pull up that order. So as I'm pulling it up, what let's talk about end of the season things here. But again, from a coach's perspective, you got 2 weeks in. You pretty much know that the season's over with. How do you keep guys engaged, man? How do you keep guys from 1, 2, 3 Cancun? And we know that the vacation's coming. We just want to get out of here and be healthy. How do you keep guys locked in, man?
To be completely honest with you, man, during my time in the league, the greatest thing that kind of caught me off guard and shocked me is being a difference from college football is guys were self-motivated. Guys were true professionals. Guys were
Yeah,
motivated by the almighty next contract, the check, you know. So you really
yeah,
didn't have to like keep guys engaged or motivated, for the most part because they're professionals from my experience. Obviously, you got exceptions to every rule. You got some guys that will zone out. And but hey,
mhm.
if you want to be back here next year, if you want to keep that check coming and be a part of this organization,
Yeah,
you're gonna play hard to the
yeah,
end. So
yeah.
that's how I saw
That's the
it.
good thing about professional, man. Because like you look at a team like yesterday, like I seen that score. I didn't see the game, but obviously you see the score like the Jets versus the Bills, and you see 40-0. And it's like, oh man, are they packing it in? Because 40-0 is, I mean, you didn't score no points, and your
Yeah,
team gave up 40. So immediately you start thinking, man, those guys didn't pack it in. I don't know what happened, but I hope that's not the case. Really quickly, what do you think about he continues playing in the next year?
what? Repeat that question. Repeat that question.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Repeat it one more time.
I said, I was talking about the Bills and Jets game yesterday, that 40-0 game where it felt like the Jets may have packed it in.
Yeah,
What I was talking about that Jets and Bills game, 40-0, Bills just all over them. As we're talking about like teams mailing it in at the end of the
no,
year. What's your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets? Would you want him
that,
back for your team next year after this dismal last 2 years that they had?
that's
Or
a
is it time for
special
the Jets to move
exception.
on?
The Jets are a special exception because they lost their leadership early in the season, so they got temporary leadership, in place
Can you hear
And
me,
I mean,
Kirk?
The Jets are in shambles. You know, I even
We'll
saw a
get Kirk
story
back in a
today.
second. But as we're going on, um, I just not been to never. There we go, Kirk.
Okay.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. So I was saying that the Jets are in shambles. I mean, they lost leadership early on
I have
in
some
the year.
technical difficulties. While he's getting that together, I keep going in on the Jets.
Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
go ahead, Kirk. I didn't hear that last part.
You, I said the Jets, they got a lot of issues to work out. They
I
lost their leadership earlier in the
can't
year.
now.
You can't hear me or you cannot?
I can now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I said the Jets lost leadership early in the year, and I feel
Okay.
like they've been in shambles
Go
ever
ahead. I didn't hear
since.
your thoughts on that, if you don't mind. Will you repeat that?
I said the Jets lost their leadership earlier in the year, and that whole organization has been in shambles ever since. I even saw a report today that they were looking at Rex Ryan to return as a head coach. So, I mean, to answer your question, would I accept
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers back for another year? You know, for me, that depends on the head coach. You got to get a head coach in place that he respects, that he's willing to kind of have some kind of reverence to and be able to cooperate, you know, and then you got to get enough pieces around him to be successful. And I just don't feel like they have that. So, um, like I said, it's going to depend on what direction they go in from a leadership standpoint to be able to retain Aaron Rodgers and get a collection of players around him to be successful. Are we still in?
Yeah. It's 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 really tough seeing guys that. Yeah, I can hear you. It's a little lag, but we're good. It's really tough to see that who has lost his mobility, has lost his fastball a little bit. You know, he's not able to do the things that made him great. Looking at the highlights, you know, it's just highlights. But I see a guy that does not have it anymore. When he had a chance to run for a first down, he's not running for it, and that's one thing that separated Aaron Rodgers. He had just enough mobility to, take those risks and things like that.
Yeah.
He still makes good decisions, but his arm is not getting there no more. And that's usually when it's time, it's time to hang it up, man. And I'm starting to get that from Aaron Rodgers, man. That was just a sidebar conversation, but it was happening. But get back into the draft. So I got the draft order in here now. So number one is the Patriots. Number two is the Titans. Number three is the Browns. 4 Giants and 5 Jaguars. So at number one, you got the Patriots. The Patriots already have their quarterback, right? They have Drake May. Drake May has showed enough, I think, to let them continue to pursue other positions. Travis Hunter, I think, will be the number one pick, and I think he will go to the New England Patriots. What's your thoughts?
Well, if the Patriots are still going to be in the first position, I can see them picking Travis Hunter. Their head coach is a defensive guy. He's probably trying to build that defense. Travis
Mm-hmm.
Hunter seems like a guy that can take away one half of the field. I mean, you got to go in that direction. So, if, like I said, if they're still in that position, I think they would pick Travis Hunter as well.
Would you let him play on both sides of the ball? I think that's the big question surrounding him right now. You've seen enough from him offensively. Would you want to incorporate him on offense?
If he can prove that he can function at the level that they need him to function at on the defensive side of the ball, and he's able to function at that high level where we want him at, because an NFL
Mm-hmm.
playbook is not like a college playbook. It's far more in depth and detail. So it's going to be a learning curve
Yeah.
there. Once he gets past the learning curve, I would definitely look into putting him in a package on offense.
Yeah. Because I think that's the argument's going to be, right? If you get this guy at number one, you may as well use him on both sides of it, especially like New England doesn't really have. I mean, I can't even really name one of their receivers. Kendall Bourne, maybe. I know they got Hunter Henry. So you know that they lacking weapons. You can get a 2-for-1 really with this guy. You can put him on the defensive side. Like you said, get a little package of 10, 15 plays, get him out there on offense and on that side of the ball. So to me, that's a slam dunk pick. If they're in position to pick him, it makes the most sense. So let's move to number two, the Tennessee Titans. We all know, again, me being in Nashville, they need a quarterback. Starts there. They need an offensive line as well, but they need a quarterback. Now, here's the tricky part. If Sam Darnold, a guy like him, says that, okay, Vikings, you can't franchise me. I don't want to play. I don't know McCarthy's coming. A guy like Sam Darnold, do you go with the pick of a proven guy like Darnold, or do you go for Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, guys that you know are going to have a 10, 12-year career? What do you think on this side?
So you're banking on the fact that when the Vikings draft pick is healthy, Darnold is going to want to get out of there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You don't think so? You don't think they drafted this guy in the first round? You don't think that they eventually, you know what it is, Sam? We got you. It's a stopgap. We didn't even know that you was going to play this much this year, but you had a phenomenal year. Can't take it away from you. But you're not our long-term investment. You're not a guy that we're looking at as the franchise keeper here.
Yeah. Well, what I would do is I would go with Sam Darnold. I mean, because he's proven he's more of a sure thing on the NFL level. I mean, as much as a lot of people like Sherrod Sanders, a lot of people like Cam Ward, they're still unproven future rookies. So they got a huge upside, but I think they're in a position where they need to win fast, and Darnold will provide that more than the rookies. So I would make a trade. I don't know, trade out of the pick or what have you. Yeah.
So that's a lot of buzz in Nashville what they're talking about. Should we go out to Sam Darnold? My thing is, how do you even know Sam Darnold wants to come here? We making these. You don't know if this guy wants to be down here. I mean,
if he can get a Kirk Cousin like contract, he'll be there.
Yeah. You throw $100 million at him, yeah, he probably will sign up for the deal. I can't even blame him. Give me $100 million, I'll probably sign up. I'll play for Saskatchewan. I'll be out there in Canada balling. You know what it is what it is.
Yeah.
I see both sides of it though, Kirk. I do want, because Tennessee is getting into that revolving door quarterback situation where you never develop a guy. You haven't been able to develop a guy and get like your guy, a long-term guy that's played for your team for 10, 12 years at that position. Like they're going from Will Levis, they went from Ryan Tannehill. They went, you never had a guy that you drafted, self-made him, and he went to your franchise. And I think that's one of the issues that they're facing from the pressure from the outside. They want a homegrown guy here. And it's just like anybody, that's hard to do. It's hard to get you a guy that's going to pan out. You're going to let him get through his growing pains. You're going to build the team around him. That takes a year or two. And when you have a 3-12 team that is going to have a couple more bad years, you want that immediate guy that's going to be able to come in and do the job. But I do think that they would be better served with a guy. I know we can't predict the future and say that we know if this guy going to be a bust or not. But I think for the city as a whole, for them to buy back in, because the Titans are about to get a new stadium. They have a $2.2 billion stadium that they're building that's going to be in play in the next couple of years. And you want to slap Sam Darnold up there on the side of it, or you want to slap Shedeur Sanders on it? I'm just saying, from aesthetics look, I get that part of it.
Yeah. So I feel like when you're a general manager, you got a lot of pressure on you. You got so much pressure on you. You're not going to be able to withstand a rookie quarterback and at least two more bad seasons.
Yeah.
So I feel like because you just had a bad season,
Mm-hmm.
And what was the season like before that? You're 3-12 this year. What were you previously?
I think that's the year that they went. I think that was 8-9. I'm not 9-8. Yeah, that was right on the cusp of playoffs. But that's when they had Tannehill still and Derrick Henry. So it's already rebuilt this year.
So. I think they'd be better served in going after Darnold and getting enough pieces where he could be effective.
Yeah. Now let me ask this though: when you draft a rookie quarterback, does that not buy you a little bit more time though? Because now the perception is, hey, I got to build this thing up, right? Of course, you knew that we wasn't gonna have a great. Everybody's not Jaden Daniels, they're not coming into the league setting on fire, we automatically playoff team. You wish and hope that that's the case, but you buy yourself a little of that, crowd support. Okay, we know we have a rookie quarterback. We're building up the team a little bit here.
Yeah. I mean, I think potentially with a guy like Cam Ward and the right offensive coordinator, the right offensive mind, like maybe get a Lincoln Riley or someone like that. I think, you can have enough explosiveness in your offense to be a playoff team. I mean, look at Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury,
Yeah.
So put the right pieces on defense, put some pieces around him. And I feel like, you could roll the dice on a Cam Ward. I wouldn't do it on Sherrod Sanders. Cam Ward, been in college for a while.
Why
He's
you don't
been
trust
around
Shador?
I just think Cam is going to be good faster than Shador will be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're not saying that Shador, like, necessarily think that Shador's going to be a bust or anything. You just think that Cam is more ready made right now to jump right in and do it.
You know how I am. I feel like if I pick a quarterback in the top 3 picks, I expect for him to be a Pro Bowler within 3 years. I don't think Sherrod Sanders will be a Pro Bowler, maybe ever.
Boy, you got some takes on these quarterbacks, Kirk. Kirk is always on it. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that this is what I'm saying about Shador. I don't think that he's going to be necessarily, a top flight, top 5 QB year in, year out. But the guy did play in the pro style system under Deion. He did move up from Jackson State to Colorado. Didn't miss the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like he walked right into that system automatically. Was putting up great numbers in it. So that shows me he's able to quickly assimilate to whatever situation that he has. Does he have the athleticism that you want to see some of these quarterbacks have? Not so much. But I see a guy that put in the right system, given the right weapons around him. You can't tell me he can't be better than at least 15 or 20 of these guys that they're rolling out every Sunday. He has all the other tools.
I think Shador Sanders could be a good pro quarterback. But in college, everyone plays zone defense. You don't really see man defense until you get to the league. Everybody plays zone. Yeah. And then, look at who they played. What ranked teams has he really just showed up and beat or been effective or garnered, all this praise? I just don't see it. They went 9-3, mostly because they got a quarterback that is exceptional. And most of their wins were against opponents that weren't ranked, a large majority. So not to say he's going to be a bust. I'm not saying that at all. I just don't think he'll ever be a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. And for me to pick you in the top 3, that's what I want. That's what I need to see. So I think Cam Ward is slightly ahead of him.
One thing I don't disagree with you is that if I picked you in the top 3 within 3 years, you should be at a Pro Bowl caliber at that point. 3 years is more than enough time, especially in today's times where we're seeing guys come out within the first year. Like this quarterback class that they have right now has been pretty effective. I mean, Penix, he's starting to show, that he can spin it. He's going through his growing pains, but he looks like a bona fide starter in the league. Caleb Williams, say what you want to about the guy. I looked at Caleb Williams' stats. His stats are not terrible, Kirk. He's only got like 8 interceptions. I think he's got like 20 or so touchdown passes. He threw for a little bit over 3,500 yards. And, the way people talk about him, you would think that he's having this horrible season. He's a rookie. He's not having a horrible season.
But he's got some weapons on offense. He's got some weapons on offense to the point where preseason, he should be lighting it up. He should have been lighting it up with what he has to work with at the receivers position.
I get it. I mean, Keenan Allen, though, everybody would talk about Keenan Allen's kind of old. Rome Odunze was a rookie. He had to go through his growing pains. The DeAndre Swift he's all right. I mean, he's a probably slightly above NFL back. I don't think they're paying out as much as people was making it seem like this guy got all these weapons and things like that. That offense, I'll tell you what went wrong with them. Every other team, they had a rookie quarterback coming in. They got an offensive coordinator, an offensive coach that could cater to what they did. The Bears sit there and keep Eberflus, a defensive guy. They have a horrible season to the point where you got to fire him during the season. I can't stand when teams do that. You got a new regime coming in with a new quarterback and all this. Find him a guy that's gonna talk the language that he talks, that makes him feel comfortable. Bring him into that offense. It just clicks so quickly with Jay Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I just hate when teams do that. Like, why are you gonna keep this same guy that's proven that he's not effective with any other people, and you just now you're starting all over again. You got to get a new offensive coordinator and go through this whole process again. So they did him no favors, is what I'm trying to say from that standpoint.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, that's where I'm at with those two. I mean, my only drawback I would have with Cam Ward is this bowl game. You know, for him to not go back in the game.
How do you feel about that, man?
To pull himself, I don't know if he pulled himself out or he refused to go back in. Regardless, why even suit up if you're not going to finish the game?
Well, you know what they said, though. They said that they had an agreement that between him and the team that he was only going to play the first half. So I think it was like he needed so many passes to break a record or something.
He went back in the game. He played this game to break a record. I have a major problem with that. That tells me you're not a team guy.
Well, okay. I get you. But at this point in college athletics, you know, it's not even a given that these guys are going to play all.
I don't.
Someone don't even play at all, Kirk.
I don't care what direction college athletics is in now. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And this new generation and way of thinking is not going to change me.
It's Kirk. If they say, okay, if your son was in a game where he could be a top 3 pick, this game really doesn't mean anything. We're not in the playoffs, right? We're not playing for anything but the Pop-Tart Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could break my leg, I could tear my ACL, anything can happen. I get it. I love the old school mentality. If I sign up for it, I'm finished the season. That's what we do as a team. But I can't knock a guy that has a potential outside of this to make the decision to say, hey, I'm not going to jeopardize. I love you guys. Everything, you know, I always be a Miami Hurricane, whatever it is, whoop de whoop.
Hey,
but to make that decision, I'm all right with it.
I don't really approve of that, opting out of bowl games. But if that's the world we living in, that's fine. But don't suit up the game in for the game to break a record and then get out. That's crap.
Okay. I see what you said. That's your thing. Don't even suit up for the game selfish. At all. Yeah.
To be Case Keenum is still a record holder because a lot of them touchdowns he threw them in FCS ball anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the change in landscape. The whole thing is weird. And to Cam Ward's credit, though, if you told your coach that and the coach would approve of that, is that more on you or the coach? Because to your point, if I'm a coach, no, we're not doing it, right?
I'm not a Mario Cristobal fan either. He's overpaid. they about to run him out of town.
Yeah.
I mean, he got all that money to go there and do nothing. He got the same record. He has the same record as the previous coach that they ran out of town.
Yeah, and they put a lot of money into that program. This was supposed to be the year. This is the year they had the quarterback. They had all those transfers. This was supposed to be the year that they at least got into the playoff because everything was there and the money that they put in. So if you can't do it this year, you're gonna be hard pressed to do it going forward. I agree with you on that, Cristobal.
Yeah. They paid all that money. They got the most expensive roster in college football, and they got nothing to show for it. And they don't even got a Pop-Tart Bowl trophy.
They lost that one too, huh?
Sad.
Speaking of that, did you catch any of that game? Did you see
I watched the whole game.
Let me tell you something. I respect the hell out of Pop-Tarts though, because they didn't just put their name to this game, but Pop-Tarts was falling out the sky. They got the guy going in the toaster. They doing the halftime show. That's how you do a Pop-Tarts. If you're going to put your name as a sponsor on it, don't just put your name and slap it on something.
Hey, they promoted the heck out of it. Hey, if they want to promote on Coaching Carlos, they could do that too.
What's up, baby? I love strawberry. I'll do the blueberry, whatever we need, Pop-Tarts. I like the way y'all get down. I love to see that they were – that's a sponsorship right there.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to say that, but my kids can't eat them.
Okay. See, you messed up the sponsorship already, Kirk. Now we can't get the sponsorship.
I'm not gonna say why.
I can see where you're going with that one. I can see where you're going with that. Other college football. So now we got the matchup set. Tomorrow we'll get a couple of games. I think we got Notre Dame and Georgia playing tomorrow, and we also who's the other teams that are playing
This
tomorrow? It's
Ohio
one more.
State and Oregon matchup. Chip
That's
Kelly,
gonna be a nice
Chip Chip Kelly against Oregon again.
that's gonna be that's probably gonna be the best game of this whole playoffs, in my opinion. Two teams that
It's
already
gonna be a
played each
great.
other.
It's gonna be a great game because it's hard to beat a team twice in a season.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
and they
That's what I was
they
saying.
Oregon got to beat Ohio State twice. It's gonna be tough, man. But it's
And
a
they'd
home
rather,
game for
rather
Oregon,
beat them
right?
first time.
It's a home game for Oregon,
No,
right?
no, it's the Rose Bowl. So
Oh,
they
Rose
playing
Bowl.
in
Yeah,
Pasadena. Yeah.
you're right. Okay, yeah.
But still though, I mean that's right down the street. That's where closer than where Ohio State's traveling from. So it's probably gonna be
But
more Oregon
Ohio
fans
State
than anything.
travels well. They travel well. They're gonna
You
be
know,
there.
don't get me wrong. Yeah, I know you're gonna see a lot of scarlet and white in there, but I mean,
Yeah,
Oregon's. I still would think that they should have the slight advantage as far as like the crowd though. But I mean, this is one of those games where none of that even really matters.
yeah,
You're gonna have the Rose Bowl to me is my favorite bowl. You know, I
yeah.
love the scene and it's always nice weather and
I love it. Yeah.
it's
I
the Rose
I
Bowl is
used to
like
live
that's the
I
bowl
used to
game.
live right behind the Rose Bowl, right behind the stadium.
Really?
Yeah. So I saw
Oh man,
the parade, the buses come in. I used to go to the Rose
yeah,
Bowl parade on Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. I went to
yeah.
JUCO. I played JUCO in Pasadena.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you seen it, man. That's that one ball that makes me feel like the pageantry, the tradition. Like this is top notch bowl game right here. This is the one that you sit down and you watch and you enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I
Hey,
bet that
but
we got a good.
how about the pressure on Ryan Day to win this game?
They
It's
came
some
out and
heat
whooped
on
our
him.
ass last week. I tell you
Yeah.
that much. They cracked some helmets on Tennessee last week. I give them a lot
Yeah.
of credit. One of
They
those
want
excuses
him
for our
out.
side.
They want a lot of alumni want him out. They think he can't win a big game.
I mean, he hasn't proven that he can so far at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, some fans are so spoiled. You know, like me being a Tennessee fan, you know how long it took for us to even like get to this point where we're competing in the playoff and thing. We went through darkness for years. Ohio State's been great every
I
year.
remember I remember not long ago, nobody wanted the Tennessee job. Remember that?
Nobody even
They had
wanted it, man.
they were gonna bring Phil
No,
Fulmer back. They were
yeah.
gonna bring Phil
I
Fulmer
mean,
back.
bro, we had no candidates. We talking about guys, like old retread guys from the NFL, people that
Yeah.
nobody wants. So,
Yeah.
and then you got Ohio State. Every year they going 10-2, 12-0,
That's what I'm saying.
11-1, and they manning him.
Urban Meyer handed Ryan Day the keys to a Ferrari. Handed him the keys.
Yeah,
Like, look, the roster's loaded. Don't.
yeah. Just don't mess it up. That's
Yeah.
the best way. Just don't mess this up, man.
Yeah. So we'll
And
see.
the only thing you can't do is beat Michigan. Like he beats everybody else consistently for the most part, but he just can't beat Michigan, and that's crazy.
It
That
is.
one team.
It is crazy. You got to beat Michigan and Ohio State.
Got to do it, man. Just got to
Yeah.
do it. You got tomorrow. I just looked at it. You got Boise State and Penn State playing
Hey,
tomorrow.
I want to see that game. I really want to see that game. I want to see what Genty can do against Penn State. The thing about Penn State, man, James Franklin can get them there, but he just can't get them over the hump.
Yep,
I
another
don't get
Ryan
it.
Day.
I
Another Ryan
don't
Day,
get it.
man.
It's like Penn State, when you watch Penn State, they have the same team every year, the same level
Mm-hmm.
every year.
Yep,
You know, they're just 10, 11 wins.
that's it. Not gonna give you more than what you expected. Not gonna give you less than what you expected. We're gonna be
Yeah.
right there at the number. But see, to me, this is what the playoff was made for guys like that, teams like that was always good but not great. Now you get a chance to get into the playoff. Anything can happen, and you got a
Yeah.
favorable draw. I mean, you
Hey,
should be able to beat Boise State. If you can't beat Boise State,
hey, and that's the best thing that ever happened in Penn State because when the playoffs was 8 teams, they probably would be getting in. But to extend it up to where it is now allows them to be in that bubble area where they usually could get in. So
yeah, yeah,
I
perfect.
think Penn State. I think the fact that they have not ever recently gotten a difference maker at quarterback. I mean, what quarterbacks out of Penn State have we seen in the last 5, 6 years that have became good pros? They haven't had a
ever.
difference maker at quarterback.
They never have. I think Kerry Collins was like their best quarterback of all time. Like Kerry
Yeah.
Collins.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly. That's the
so
only Penn State quarterback I can remember.
that's exactly what I thought. I was trying to think when you said that. I was like, the only thing I can think of is Kerry. And I don't even know how I got that one. To be honest, that was way back here.
Yeah, I was in middle school. Yeah.
That quarterback that they got now, he's okay. Drew Aller, he seems to be able to make the throws and stuff, but they don't scare you offensively. To your point, like they don't do anything exotic that make me feel like I can't hang with them. You know, they don't have that explosive receiver, or they don't scheme it up to the point where I'm like, oh, you got to watch these guys. You always feel like you're in a game with Penn State.
Yeah, no doubt.
Who else we got? A couple more, man, and let's see. So Wednesday, that's the big day. We're gonna have Texas and Arizona State, which is gonna be an interesting game. I think that might be one of the under the radar games that turns out to be way better than what we thought. Because like they always say, matchup make fights, and Texas is way better on defense in my head than they are offensively. And Arizona State, have you seen that kid? What's that, Scottaboo or something? That guy right there, man, he's gonna be a player in the NFL. He can go.
Arizona State's a Cinderella, man. They got some hungry players.
They do,
and
man.
That quarterback Levitt has a chip on his shoulder.
Oh, did you see what he said about Quinn Ewers? He said, "I'm going to go out there and prove that I'm a better quarterback than him." I said, he one of them.
Yeah,
he one of those, huh? Okay,
that don't surprise me. He
you know what I'm saying?
He's played with a chip on his shoulder.
Man, if you say stuff like that, though, Kirk, you got to back
He's from a high school a couple miles away from me.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it for a minute.
Bro, if you go out there on the biggest stage and you telling him, I'm about to show you why I'm a better quarterback, you better back that up, man, because people never going to let you live that down. So I hope that this guy has a good game for his own sake.
Yeah, no doubt.
So those are the games that we have coming up, man. So quickly, as we go through it, who's your prediction on these games? What do you see? I'm just going to go through them and you tell me a quick prediction. Penn State or Boise State?
I'm going to go Boise State.
Okay, got Boise State there. Arizona State and Texas.
I'm going to go Arizona State.
Oh, that'd definitely be an upset if that happens.
I'm going to backtrack on Boise State. I'm going to go Penn State, and I'm going to go Arizona State.
Okay. I'm going to say, Kirk, that's what you're doing? You're going to pick all the underdogs here?
Yeah.
Ohio State or Oregon? Probably the biggest matchup. Ohio State?
Yeah.
Okay. Notre Dame and Georgia.
I'm going to Notre Dame.
I'm only going to Notre Dame because they don't have the quarterback for Georgia. Carson Beck out. I can't see the backup coming in. And, under this stage, the biggest lights that you can get. Last game of the day, everybody in America's watching that game. That's going to be a big stage for him.
He better be ready because he's the projected starter for next year.
Yeah. This is man.
And we're all the way through the season, so he's not a freshman anymore. He's a sophomore now, so he's got to bring it. He's tough as nails. If you saw that hit he took in the SEC championship game,
oh God, did I see that hit? I almost knocked his block off, man.
Yeah, and he
came right back in.
Hey, toughness is not a question.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're gonna have enough for Notre Dame. I think they could put up a good game though.
The thing about Georgia is though, man, from seeing them play up and close in the SEC here under Kirby Smart, when their backs against the wall is when they play the best. And this is coming from a Tennessee fan. Every time you think that this is Georgia's down, you don't have to worry about them. Kirby gets those guys up and they play amazing, especially on defense.
You know what? If you listen to Kirby Smart's locker room speeches, you'll know why they fight like that.
Yeah, man, look. The wall, he will chip the paint off the wall with that guy.
It sounds like he got a belt. It sounds like he got his belt out in the locker room, like my granddad. Bro, he be like, "Y'all better get y'all asses in line, motherfucker."
Yeah,
he be going. Hey, he got some fire.
Goes hard.
I hate Georgia, but I do like the way he get down.
Man, I'm the same way. I wish we could have got him because that dude, I could see myself playing for a guy like that because he gonna hold you accountable. He's not gonna play with you, man. You know what you came here to do.
Yeah.
And if you ain't doing your job, you damn right I'm gonna say something to you.
Have you heard those reports of the Cowboys looking at Kirby Smart?
Man, kick the tires, Kirk. Kick the tires.
Yeah.
Yes, I would love that.
I
Get him
think
in there.
I think that's what y'all need to do.
Get him there, man. Get
If
him
y'all
there.
want to win a championship, I think he would be a great pro coach.
You know what the problem is? Jerry
He
don't
got to
want
dial
nobody
it
like
down.
that.
He's going to dial it down a little bit because you can't talk to pros the way he
No,
talks.
yeah, you can't talk to grown men like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But you know the problem is you can't have a strong voice like that with up under Jerry Jones because Jerry's gonna get mad. Somebody's getting too much spotlight. They're not worried about me. They're worried about the coach stuff. He couldn't handle Parcells. He couldn't handle Jimmy Johnson.
But I think he's realized now that you got to have a Jimmy Johnson type guy to win. And
Yeah,
Kirby Smart is about the closest thing to a Jimmy Johnson type guy.
that showed
Yeah.
that one speech, Kirk. I'm talking about the paint was peeling off the wall.
Yeah.
I think that was that game against Alabama in the national championship where they went down. I'm talking about that guy fire was coming out of his mouth. And they came out and they instantly that 10-point lead was tied within like 5 minutes. I said, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, I had a coach like that in high school. It used to scare me into playing good.
I don't even want to spoke with you, coach. So let me make sure I'm doing my job. I don't want the problems, dog.
This dude we had, he made us practice in the thunder and the lightning.
Don't make them like that no more. Don't make these coaches like that no more.
Grab you by your face mask quick.
Yeah. Yank you up. Well, that's all I got for it, man. Close remarks as we're going to the new year, going into a prosperous 2025. Want to wish all of our listeners and all our people that rock with us the best new year that you could ever have. Don't get too crazy out on them streets, y'all. Drinking your favorite drink, all that good stuff. Make sure you keep it safe. Not only for yourself, but for those others that may be on the road at that time. That's always my mission when it comes down to the new year.
Yeah. I mean, just to piggyback off what you said, everybody have a blessed new year. Be safe, no drinking and driving. Think with your head, the right head. And let's be prosperous in this next year, man, and get everything organized in line and get everything in the direction you want to go in. And, download Roku, download the Roku channel, download the Surge app, and find us and check out the show. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you like the content.
We got big things coming in the next year, y'all. We kind of got our feet wet going into this year, going into the end of this year, but now we seem to have built our consistency. We know where we at with things, so look forward to bigger, better things. We're gonna start rocking with some guests. We're gonna bring on some big names for you guys to check out. We want to look at some merchandise. We got a lot of things going on. So if you're rocking with us now, expect even better things going into 2025. We can guarantee you that.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it rolling all the way through the draft. I'm gonna be going down to Texas to coach in an All-Star showcase, college football All-Star showcase. All 32 NFL teams will be attending, so maybe I'll be able to bring some good content, some good interviews from some of the guys playing in the game.
Man, y'all better keep it locked in with us, man. We just starting out, man. Like my people in Nashville, I know y'all starting to get with it. Please keep it tuned in because this is just the beginning of something that me and Kirk have put together, and I feel like we got great things coming. So, as my last word before I pass it off to Kirk, again, happy New Year to everybody. I wish everybody a prosperous 2025. And as I always say, man, keep rocking with us, man. Kirk, last word from you.
No, that's it, man. That's all I got. Happy New Year to everyone. God bless and good night.
All right, y'all. Coach Carlos out. Till next time.